Do you want to make ambient melodies, stuff for IZAYA TIJI, Destroy Lonely? I'm going to be breaking down a loop I made, and it fits that kind of style, and it's all one-shots. So what you're seeing on screen here is the full and finalized project. At the bottom here, I have the muted version of the patterns. At the top here, I have the consolidated forms where I've added a little bit of post-processing effects. So I'm going to go through the patterns here. I'm going to go through what's being played in which parts, and then I'm going to show you what I did in the post-processing. All these sounds are from AZ's Hybrid Circuits one-shot kit. Most of them are going to be found in these keys and bells. So to start, I put down these chords in G sharp minor. I'm working with 128 BPM, and it sounds like this. Next, I have this pad sound as an accent, so that's why it only plays a couple times. It's more of a texture ear candy in the back, and it sounds like this. A key thing here is that I haven't set the envelope to any holes or anything. That's why you can hear the notes playing over each other. But that kind of blending of the sounds makes a very nice texture in the back, which you'll hear near the end. Next, I add this kind of pluck sound, and it sounds like this. These plucks have a very delayed sound where their notes played is not where you hear it play because of this halftime. It's just a default halftime preset, but what this does is takes the tail end of that being played and only keeps that part in. Next, I add this kind of background lead thing. And the cool part about using one-shots here is that you can use glide notes, which you can't really do in VSTs unless there's like a built-in feature. So you hear that here, how those glide notes get used. Add a bass here. I copied over the same chords from the beginning onto this another pad, and it sounds like this. Now these pads are much higher in octave than the other pads that I was using because it flushes out that range because the pads are supposed to kind of shape the foundation of the melody. Finally, I have a pluck that plays an arpeggio of the chords we had at the beginning, and it sounds like this. Those plugs have a lot of effects on them. First, I started with the shaper box. I took the space pad effect. It's a kind of this weird filter effect. I had this EQ to take out some of the highs and a lot of the lows, and then I added a Fab Filter Timeless 2. That's the default setting here. I'll play it before and after here. So now getting into the arrangement of the whole melody, I had to take out the texture that I had at the beginning and replace it with a consolidated form. Since I hadn't set an envelope to the one shot, it was stemming out way too far. Now in FL21, you can create these volume envelopes within the playlist. So I just dragged this back and made a nice little fade out effect. For arrangement overall, I just had to kind of build up, and I had these plucks play at the end, and then I stemmed it out. If you want to learn a little bit more on how to stem out your melodies and how to render your melodies, I have a video. I'll link it in the card right here. But once I did that, I consolidated it as I do normally, and I pitched it up 100 cents. I tracked this to track 8, where I added a couple post-processing effects, which I'm going to get into now. So firstly, I added a sketch cassette. Now, a sketch cassette is goated. If you don't have sketch cassette and you want a free alternative, I think iZotope vinyl is pretty good. I used that for a very long time. I think sketch cassette just has way more versatility in this department. But what I did is I went to this preset in WoW plus Flutter, and I put gentle modulation on, and all I did was increase this depth a little bit. And on top of that, I added this little EQ because the bass was kind of hitting a little too hard in the whole thing, so I just reduced the bass a little bit, and then I rendered it out again, and this is the final sample. If you like this video, feel free to check out more. There's a couple on the right side of your screen that YouTube says you might like. Not me. I'm not saying like them. YouTube says it, and YouTube's algorithm kind of crazy, so watch them at your own discretion. And I hope I'll see you in the next video.